Howdy everybody, welcome, and my name is Don.
My name is Ray.
This right here is Ray, he's the man.
I am.
And today we're going to be reading to you The Haunted Vagina.
Oh yeah.
It is a short novel, a novella by Carlton Mellick III.
The third.
There's three of them. Don't think it's like a order of transcendence. There's just three of them.
There's just three. It's like
There's three of them.
okay.
Anyways,
okay.
Author's note, I miss Andre the Giant. From him, Carlton Mellick III, 6/19/06 at 1:26 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best time to quote yourself. 1:30 p.m.
Seriously. It's like right after lunch, you got all those good
It's
thoughts.
just like, I know exactly what
Probably
I
had
want
a
in
pepper
life.
jack sandwich.
It's probably like
It's
watching
ready to go.
reruns of old pay-per-views.
Alright. Well, let's start this off.
Alright, let's do
Act
it.
1, Ghost Snatch.
Chapter 1. I've been scared to have sex with Stacy ever since I discovered her vagina was haunted. When we first met, I didn't notice her vagina was haunted at all. It seemed perfectly fine. Better than fine. It was great. At least for the first year. But after we got engaged and she moved in with me, I noticed odd sounds coming from her while she slept. At first, I just thought it was her snoring. Then I thought there was a television left on somewhere in the house. I heard voices in the dark, whispers, then laughs, then cries, then howls. The sounds were muffled, but seemed to become clearer and clearer with each passing night. Where the heck are those noises coming from? I asked Stacy one night. She blinked herself awake. Huh? I hear voices coming from the walls, I said. Oh, she said. I'm serious, I said. That's not coming from the walls, she said. It's coming from me. From you, I asked. From inside me, she said, pulling off the covers and pointing at her crotch. I snorted at her. Listen, she said, pulling my head into her lap and pressing my ear against her vagina.
It was like listening to the ocean in a hairy flesh seashell. You're playing, I said. She giggled. It was all a joke. But then I heard it. A voice inside her. I couldn't understand the words. A woman crying, babbling in a deranged language. Then she screamed into my ear and I jumped out from between Stacy's legs. My girlfriend laughed at me, squinting her dark brown eyes, and, "What the hell?" I screamed. "Told you," she said. "What is that?" I cried. "A ghost," she said. "What?" "I'm haunted," she said, touching her vagina and smiling. "How did a ghost get in there?" "I don't know," she said.
What's up, Don?
"Hey, what's up, Eric?" "I don't know," she said. "It's been in there for a long time now." "Why don't you do anything about it?" I asked. "What can I do?" "I don't know. Call a priest?" "What's a priest going to do? Stick a cross up there and cast the spirits out?" "Maybe. It's really not that big a deal. I've gotten used to it." "How? Actually, I kind of like it." I frowned at a sailboat on the wall behind her. "Yeah," she said, spreading her legs across my lap. "Who else has a haunted vagina?" She flattened the bush of her pubic hair and spread the lips to examine it. My other boyfriends thought it was sexy. I shook my head at her and smiled. I found it repulsive.
But the fact that I was scared of her vagina seemed to turn her on. She made love to me after that. For her, it was the wildest sex we ever had.
Hey Don, can you take a picture of us?
Yeah, both of us.
Yeah, sure.
She had pinned me down underneath her, sucking on my crusty lower lip, sliding my penis into her ghostly regions, and getting off on the terrified look on my face.
Oh my.
What book you reading?
But for me,
It's called The Haunted Vagina.
it was the most awkward sex I'd ever had. I swear I could feel strange things inside of her that night.
It's a nice chamber, dude.
Ghostly breaths against the tip of my dick. I'm calling at it right there.
But we were madly in love. I didn't even consider leaving her because of her ghost vagina. She meant everything to me. I loved her this much. Greater than sign, less than sign. That means indefinitely. Or infinitely. I'm sorry, I can't words. I've been consumed by her ever since the day we met. Perhaps that's foreshadowing. We were strangers who somehow passed out on a city bus together. My head in her lap, her curly brown hair, encasing me like a blanket.
Oh,
Hot breath on the back of my neck.
that sounds so romantic.
When we awoke, she said that was cozy, and I smiled at her. She was very tall, especially for an Asian girl. Almost a foot taller than me, with silky curled hair and tiny oval glasses. Then she continued Then she said she had a snuggly bed at her place if we wanted to continue sleeping. I agreed. I thought she wanted to have sex. The whole walk home, my eyes were glossy at her, trying to hide my hard-on under my coat, but she really just wanted to sleep. It was late. Both of us worked the swing shift. We went into her studio apartment, the floor covered with laundry that she insisted was all clean, and stripped down to our shirts, underwear, and socks. She was right. It was definitely a comfortable bed. It was the biggest, fluffiest bed I'd ever been in. She snuggled me like a teddy bear all night. We didn't even know each other's names, but it was one of the nicest moments I've ever spent with another person. The next morning, we introduced ourselves. That's actually a good line. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually clever. Steve, she said, hopping out of bed to the kitchen counter. I hate that name. I could see her cocoa nipples through her t-shirt. She
Must have taken her bra off sometime during the night. Sorry, I said. Haha, she said, eating Lucky Charms out of the box. When do you want to do this again? She asked me. I shrugged. Tonight? She asked. I nodded, pulling on my pants. On the way out of the door, she said, meet you on the bus. For 3 weeks, we slept in the same bed together. We never had sex. We never kissed. We never took off more clothes than our pants. We just dreamed together. The conversations were brief. We didn't go on any dates. We didn't get to know each other. It was just a sleeping arrangement. To her, I was just a stuffed animal with a heartbeat.
But eventually, we started to talk. I found out her favorite food was stuffed grape leaves, and her favorite films were all Russian. She was born in Thailand, but was adopted by a wealthy African-American couple before she could walk, and spent most of her life in an upscale suburb outside of LA. She spent 10 years at the university here in Portland. Portland?